Hello everyone, back with another requested tier list today. Um, I've been getting quite a lot of requests recently, which is great, so please keep them coming. But as you can see here, today's request is from VS Gremery, who asked for a tier list about cartoons. So yeah, I'll get that done for you sometime in the upcoming week. So here we are. Um, this is another one where I found like just a massive list of cartoons. So I'm gonna leave just the ones I haven't seen. I'm gonna leave down here. So even if you make it on the tier list low down, I probably still quite liked it to be honest, because it's only things that I actually watched a decent amount of. I'm gonna rank. So I'll get started then. First one on this list that I've actually seen is Kipper. I remember watching this when I was like quite young. About a dog with a slipper. Um, can't really remember too much about it because I feel like I watched this when I was like, very young. Kipper the dog. It had a good tune. I remember the theme tune to it. But the content of the show itself, I can't really remember it. So it can't. If it's, I mean, if I forgot it, it can't have been that good, can it? But it does have a good song. So we'll start off with a D. Then we have The Simpsons. I'm a big fan of The Simpsons when I was younger. The earlier seasons were especially good. Definitely fell off a bit, I guess, as it got later on, and like they're still making it now, aren't they? I haven't watched it in a while, I must say, but early on, The Simpsons was it was very good for sure. When I was like in my teens, used to always watch The Simpsons. Definitely have fond memories. It's high up for sure. Um, uh, do you know what? I'm gonna put it S. I do really like The Simpsons. Um, I think it's deserving an S. It was so good early on, and it did get a bit worse, but the early seasons are so good. Even the film I quite enjoyed as well a bit. Um, okay, the next one I've seen is Cat Dog. Bit of a weird one with Cat Dog from what I remember. Uh, another one that I don't remember too much about actually. I know I've watched it. I remember it's a cat attached to a dog. Um, what were going on in the show? Again, not too sure, but I definitely watched it. Is all I can really say about it. So, to be honest, considering I can't remember anything about it, we'll go E tier, unfortunately. South Park. Watched some South Park, not a lot to be honest. Um, not really. Sort of the adult cartoon of my choice really. Um, weren't really a big South Park guy. It's definitely some good episodes, for sure. It's funny, some of them are for sure, but I preferred sort of just other options in that sort of like, when you're getting a bit older and you're watching like the adult cartoons. That South Park wasn't my one of choice. But I could also happily watch it if it's on. It's decently funny. I think South Park for me is a bit middling from what I remember. We'll go see. What else have I seen? Mucha Lucha. Watched that when I was younger. That were like about like little kids being sort of wrestlers. Um, another one where I remember the theme tune, but the actual show itself, I think they were kind of like superhero type things, but not too sure. Um, Again, if I can't really remember the show, it can't have that much of an impact on me. So it's gonna have to be fairly low down again. But I did watch it. Pinky and the Brain. I remember watching this not much, and I don't think I really liked it when I watched it. I felt this is the first one I kind of remember and thinking, from what I saw, I didn't really like of it. Um, yeah, I don't really know why. I can't remember much about it, but I remember not really liking Pinky and the Brain. So unfortunately, that's F tier for me. Animaniacs I watched some of. Kind of like Looney Tunes a bit, So lots of different show stories. I think it were okay one again, maybe pretty middling for me. I think. Animaniacs. I think a C again's fair. What else do I watch? Beavis and Butthead I've seen. That's another one that I've not seen too much of. More of an adult one again. Yeah, another one that's not really my favourite, I must say. I haven't seen too much of it though, so yeah, I'll put it D. I haven't seen it too much, so I don't want to rank it too low, but yeah, I don't think I'm the biggest fan of it. What else have we seen? Oh, I've missed that Magic School Bus. I've seen Magic School Bus. Yeah, Magic School Bus was pretty good, you know. Got on the bus, bloody going like a magical journey with Miss Frizzle. Yeah, it were decent, you know. It weren't my favourite, but you know, I certainly enjoyed it. I'll say a solid B. What else have I seen? Courage the Cowardly Dog. Used to really like that one. It was quite different for a cartoon, you know. It was like had a really weird vibe about it, you know. It used to kind of scare me a bit when I was younger, you know, which were for like a children's cartoon, it's not really about that. But yeah, it had like a weird vibe about it for sure. But it was interesting. It was an interesting one. You know, just like living in that little hut, like remote middle of nowhere, with his like old parents, things, the owners that didn't even like him. Yeah, it was good with Courage the Cowardly Dog, I must say. You know, very different to everything else. Like I said, I think the difference makes it stand out. I think I'll go here with Courage the Cowardly Dog. We were a fan. Bernstein Bears, actually. This is the one that everyone thinks changed their name. Bernstein, whatever. This is another one I've not watched much of, and I don't think I really liked it when I did watch it, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really remember much about it. Yeah, I feel like I know more about the like Mandela effect with the name than I do about the show. So yeah, I feel like I didn't like it. Maybe I was a bit too old when I was watching it. Yeah, that's the one that I have a pretty poor memory of. Dexter's Lab, watch that one. Another one I quite liked, you know. Interesting concept, you know, little kid with a laboratory in his room. Always, you know, like fighting with his sister and that lot. Yeah, another one that were, I think, quite good, but no, not one of my favourites. I think Dexter's Lab, a solid B again. Dora the Explorer, watched a bit of that when I was younger. Some of the earlier sort of series I caught. You know, we're kind of meant to be vaguely educational, like teaching you Spanish. You know, like they just say random things in Spanish and be like, "Oh, can you say this thing?" So yeah, that were, I don't know. It was fairly enjoyable, to be honest. Still, you know, swiping sticks out. Well, the map song. Yeah, I feel like Donuts Swallow weren't actually bad, to be honest. Especially for something that's kind of meant to be more educational, which kids don't tend to enjoy as much, I guess. But yeah, I remember having a couple of fond memories of it. I think another B, you know. Scooby Doo. It's another one I've watched for sure. This has been going for absolutely ages. It's one of the older ones anyway, I'd imagine. Yeah, another. You know, every episode's about the same in it. Really, it's like, we'll go in, we'll search for the bad guy, we'll all split up. Someone will get caught or trapped. Something. We'll have a chase scene. We'll unmask him at the end. But you know, it was all good, weren't it? I think another one I definitely like for sure. And a few movies as well as Scooby Doo. I think the movies were like live action, which is I get a bit weird for a cartoon to have a live action movie, but yeah, I think even the film weren't bad from what I remember as a kid. Yeah, did quite like Scooby Doo. I think another B. It's not quite A tier. Powerpuff Girls. Watched a bit of that. Actually, watched a decent amount of that. Were quite good. Had a good theme tune again. Always thought it were called Powerpuff Girls when I was younger as well, which were a bit stupid. But you know, it is what it is. Rough Girls. Is that the one that Mojo Jojo's from? Is he the bad guy in that? I think so. I do like the name Mojo Jojo. He might not have been from that, but I think he was. Yeah, you know, like a sort of superhero cartoon thing, you know, fighting the bad guys. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I feel like I preferred these lot of it. I feel like it's more a C. Yeah, it's certainly watchable, but you know, it weren't one of my favourites. Rocket Power, watch that. Some of it, not all of it. I think this were kind of about like skateboarding somehow. I think was it? Was this the skateboarding one? Oh, I'm having my questioning myself now. I feel like it was. Again, it's another one where I don't really remember it too much, but I know I definitely watched it. I think it was skateboarding, but I don't know how you're making a show about skateboarding unless they just went about on skateboards and did other stuff. Yeah, so Rocket Power, another one I don't really remember, but I don't have any negative memories of it, so I'll put it E, just for the don't remember tier, really. Futurama, this is one I did like, for sure. Another more, like, adult one. Yeah, I think Futurama's a good one, you know. Funny, decent characters as well, you know, unique characters. The concept's decent, though, like, you know, Fry's gone 1,000 years into the future, and he's just like a normal guy, everyone else is like, you know, some weird 3,000 guy, like a Cyclops or a robot or whatever, you know, Zoidberg doing his stuff. Yeah, I think, you know, it was funny, it had, like, decent storylines as well, cool things going on. I think, yeah, it was a good show. Another A tier for me. You know, I don't quite like it as much as Simpsons, but Futurama was very good. Right, what else have I seen? Flintstones. This is one that are even a bit before my time, but I have seen some of. Good theme tune again. Very good theme tune. I like the car, you know, where you like really pushing the car with your feet were like nice from that. In terms of the show itself, weren't the best, I don't think. I think, you know, it kind of showed its age a bit by the time I was watching it. It's definitely one of the older ones. Probably, I mean, like the first cartoon, even maybe the Flintstones. Could have been, not sure. But for me, yeah, it certainly weren't my favourite. I think probably a D tier for me. Family Guy. Family Guy's another one I watched. Another more adult one. Yeah, Family Guy, very good again, I think. Especially earlier on again as well. First, like, few series were very good. Then it got cancelled, and then it got brought back, then it got cancelled again. Kept getting cancelled and brought back. But I think it's still going now, even. Yeah, you know, still occasionally watch a Family Guy, you know, when sometimes when I just put my TV on at night, when I'm chilling out, going to bed or something, there's a Family Guy on, and yeah, I'll watch that for 20 minutes, you know, easy watching, decently funny. It's had some more like stories in among as well, you know, stuff going on, as the recurring gags, the cutaway gags, even the tunes in it are quite good, you know, it's got like quite a lot of good musical numbers in it, which sort of stands it out on its own a bit. I think Family Guy. Another A for me. It's not quite S, but I do like Family Guy. You're gonna have to start. I'll zoom out a bit. There we go. Rocko's Modern Life. This is one I watched a bit of. I also remember not really liking it. I remember the theme tune again, but the show itself has negative, no, not really negative, but like poor memories for me. I don't feel like I was the biggest fan of it, but I still remember watching it for sure. Yeah, sorry Rocco, you're gonna have to go in F. Don't have the fond memories of that one. What else have we seen? SpongeBob. This was like a childhood classic for me. Absolutely loved SpongeBob when I was younger. Probably got a tier list on the channel about SpongeBob characters actually, so you probably already know I like SpongeBob if you've been watching this channel for a while. Yeah, absolutely great for me. You know, even the film, SpongeBob film, with like Hasselhoff in it randomly, were good. Um, Good music, good songs, good story, good characters. Yeah, SpongeBob for me, absolutely great. Loved it. Loved coming home from like school and watching SpongeBob on Nickelodeon. S tier for sure. Wild Thornberrys, it's another one I watched. Quite like Wild Thornberrys as well, you know. Yeah, pretty good. Like their family all out on Savannah. The dad, you know, going smashing was definitely a thing I remember for some reason. That's like stuck in my head to this day still for some reason. Nigel Thornberry, absolute legend of the game. Um, yeah, but Wild Thornberrys, yeah, I think it was another good one to be honest. Another one I liked. Yeah, I think a solid B again. Uh, Angry Beavers, it's another one I watched. Uh, don't remember it too well. Just remember it was about beavers, which you know you could have got from the title. Uh, yeah, what they actually did. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't really remember it much. I know I watched it, but I think it's gonna have to go in there. I watched it, but don't remember it to you. Um, hmm. Oh yeah, Real Monsters. I watched that as well. Missed that one out. Um, I feel like I don't remember that one too well either. But I feel like I used to quite like it, but I also can't remember it, so I can't have liked it that much. Um, yeah. I feel like I have fond memories of it, but I just can't remember it that well. So I'll put it C. Hey Arnold. Um, didn't watch much of that. I remember this was another one I didn't really like much. Couldn't really tell you why I didn't like it, but I remember not really. It certainly wasn't my cartoon of choice. Uh, Got called Football Head. About the only thing I remember from it. But yeah, definitely don't think it was my favourite. I think I'll go F tier. Avatar, the Airbender one, not the blue guys from the film. Yeah, watch this. At least at the start. I don't know if I watched it all. I don't think I watched it all. I did quite like it. Yeah, it was good. You know, it was another one that sort of had like an ongoing story rather than like individual episodes, which a lot of cartoons tend to be. This was like an ongoing story, like you know, like battle against the Fire Nation, like he'd get new characters and friends along the way, companions, whatever. You know, he'd learning all the arts, like all the earth bending, wind bending, water bending, all that stuff. Yeah, a good one, you know. Um, I think another solid B. You know, it's not quite in my A tier, but I do like it for sure. Jimmy Neutron, that's the one I watched a bit of. Uh, like a different animation style on this, which were, you know, something different. Don't remember too much about the show itself, really. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of feel like in my head it's kind of similar to Dexter's Laboratory, but just wasn't as good from what I remember. But I could be wrong on that. But that's what I'm thinking of it. But I still feel like it weren't terrible. I'll put it D. Yeah. What else have we got that I've seen? Ed. Quite liked a bit of Ed and Eddie. Um, yeah, you know the three of them and Plank, absolute classic character. Going around just getting up to stuff, whatever were going on. Another good one with a good tune. Yeah, I think middling-ish again for me. I'd say probably a C. I think I prefer these over it, but you know, definitely still enjoyable for sure. Tom and Jerry, another old school one. A bit of a classic. You know, cat versus mouse. Uh, Where when you look at it in hindsight, the cat were kind of the good guy, even though the mouse were meant to be the good guy. But the cat were just sort of chilling out. Then the mouse would go up and whack it with a mallet or something, and then make it chase it around. And then the cat's owner would like that he insult it for not being able to catch the mouse and stuff. But at the time, you did want the mouse to escape and stuff. Yeah, I think another one pretty good, but not great again. I think a C's fair. Fairly Odd Parents. This was one I liked for sure. You know, Timmy Turner, Cosmo and Wanda, you know, fairy godparents. Yeah, a bit of a classic show. Had some memes from it as well. You know, if you've got some memes, you must have at least been fairly successful. You know, Doug Dimmadome, Crimson Chin. Yeah, you know, a good show overall, I think. Good characters, good stories. I remember the episode that's standing out to me is the bloody like VD Watch one. I remember really liking that as a kid for some reason, where like Timmy and Vicky both had like a VD Watch and were trying to go back in time and outdo each other. Yeah, I think very good again. Is it? I'm trying to decide. Yeah, you know what? I think Fairly Odd Parents is A tier worthy. Definitely have some fond memories of Fairly Odd Parents. Very good characters, multiple of them. Yeah, very good. I've just spotted Doug. That's another one I watched a bit of, but I must say I didn't really like it. I don't think I watched much of it, but I do have another one I have sort of remember watching and not liking. So, unfortunately, Doug, you can join the F tier. Inspector Gadget, I want to watch a bit. You know, the guy and all the gadgets, you know, go gadget, propeller hat, whatever, fly off. Kind of like a spy type thing. Yeah, it were. I feel like the interesting bit were like the cool gadgets he had. Like, see what he'd come up with. Don't really remember what he did in the actual show much. I just remember the gadgets more than anything. Like, he'd have a boxing glove come out of his jacket and punch people, and like, you know, propeller that and all stuff like that. Yeah, another one I think a bit middling for me. Say, what should I say? I'll say a C. I think that's fair. Johnny Bravo. That's one I watched again. Weren't the biggest fan of Johnny Bravo. I think maybe I was a bit young when I watched it to sort of get it, because it's kind of, I don't know if it's made for kids or adults, but yeah, I feel like it was more not for young kids at least, and I feel like I watched it when I was young kid, so I didn't kind of get some of the jokes maybe. Yeah, I don't think it was the best for me personally. Say E. I definitely remember enjoying it a bit. Like, it's not bottom tier, but yeah, I think it weren't my favourite. Ben 10 I watched a little bit of. Like some of the earlier seasons. I think I was sort of getting a bit old by the time Ben 10 were coming out. Like mid 2000s maybe. But I do remember watching, I think, a bit at the start. You know, he has the watch where he like transforms into different monsters and he's like fighting stuff. Like he lives in a camper van, does he, with his granddad or something. Yeah, I think from what I remember, it were quite good, but I don't think I watched too much of it. So yeah, I think it were. I'm not sure. I haven't watched much of it, I must say, but from what I do remember, it was alright. I'd say a C. Okay, we're gonna have to start scrolling here, I think. Let's have a look. American Dad. It's another one I've watched for sure. Another one that's for like an older audience again. Yeah, I think another one that's very good again. I think it's still going now. Another one that sometimes on in the evening I'll watch when it's on. Yeah, this is going to rank high. I'm just trying to find how high. The characters are good in it, like, you know, they're all unique characters. No, there's good side characters as well, not just the main characters are good, the other, like, reoccurring characters are good as well. Good storylines in it. You know, like the people can't recognise Roger when he's in a wig, even though he looks exactly the same. Nice little gimmick thing. Another one that has, a few good, very few good gags. What am I thinking? I think it's another A. I don't think it's quite got to S, but I am a fan of American Dad. Sorry about all the scrolling, but you have to live with it. Popeye the Sailor Man, another old school one. It's classic guy, eats his spinach, bulks up, wins a fight. That was basically every episode, I think, to be honest. Was there much story other than that? No, but I remember wanting to eat spinach because I wanted to be like Popeye. Yeah, I don't think it was the best, but, the eat the spinach bulk up gimmick was quite interesting. But other than that, I don't think it had much going for it. Or D. This is the Jetsons, I think, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Another one, an older one, I think. Watched a bit of it. Not the most. Yeah, I don't think I particularly like this one either, much to be honest. I don't remember much about it, but yeah, I think it's kind of in the don't really remember much about it tier. But I did watch it. What else have we got? Looney Tunes. Definitely watched a fair bit of Looney Tunes, another older one. Lots of different sort of characters, different stories, the classics like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, stuff like that, Tweety Pie. Yeah, this is kind of like probably like 5 or 6 different cartoons. It's like short ones though that you'd get multiple of like in a row. You get like a 5-minute Bugs Bunny thing, you get like a 5-minute Wile E. Coyote thing, you get like a 5-minute Tweety Pie thing or something. Which, yeah, that were interesting gimmick back in there. Lots of characters, different stories, stuff going on. Yeah, I think it was pretty good again. Yeah. Trying to decide. He was definitely good, but I don't think A worthy. I think a solid B for Looney Tunes is fair. Kiss Next Door, Codename Kiss Next Door. The one I watched. Good theme tune again. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Kiss Next Door thing. Yeah. It were like the group of kids fighting against like teenagers and adults and stuff. Superhero thing. Yeah, it were pretty good to be honest. Yeah, I quite like the characters. They like the weird stories. Lived in like a treehouse, didn't they? We didn't live in it. That was like the base, I guess, with like a big treehouse. I think a B again, a solid B. I like Kid Next Door. Arthur. Watched Arthur. Liked Arthur. Another one. Great theme tune again. It's got a meme as well, so it's good. Theme tune, top tier theme tune for sure. The show itself, yeah, pretty good again, good characters. Kind of, setting like going to school, just being like a kid, doing stuff. The bit fights with his sister and stuff. Yeah, Arthur, this is good for sure. How good? Let me have a look. I think another B. I don't think it's quite in the A tier, but it was good. Maybe it is A tier. I don't know what, I'll put it A tier. I think Arthur, I did definitely like Arthur. And it had a very good theme tune. Yeah. I think A is fair. Let's have a look. What else do we have? A pup named Scooby-Doo. Is it like a Scooby-Doo spin-off that I've never heard of? Ren and Stimpy. That's another one I watched a bit of and don't think I really liked it. Yeah, don't really remember it too well, but I know I watched it. Yeah, I think that's watched it but don't remember it. I definitely remember watching it, but what went on, don't know. Cleveland Show. I've seen a bit of that. It's like a Family Guy spin-off. Um, don't think it's as good as Family Guy. I haven't seen as much of it as Family Guy, but the bit I have seen, I don't think it was as good. I mean, it was similar, but kind of just worse. Like, why would you watch that when you could just watch Family Guy with, like, you've got all the characters, all the like pre-built stuff. Why would you want to start watching a new one? I guess. But I don't think it was terrible either, because it basically just Family Guy again, but a bit worse. I think Cleveland Show probably a D because it was just worse Family Guy, but it weren't terrible. Recess. Watched a bit of Recess. Like the school, navigating through the school. Like everyone had like the role and stuff in like the group, whatever. Another one that were I think pretty middling for me. It was decent but not great. Yeah, I think Recess is pretty middle of the road for me. I've just spotted Rugrats. I watched Rugrats when I was younger. Yeah, I did like Rugrats. I feel like I had a Rugrats game on like the PlayStation 1 or something. PlayStation 2 maybe. One of them. Definitely had a Rugrats game at some point. Yeah, but the program itself, yeah, was pretty good, I did like it. One for when I was younger. Also had a film, I think, that was decent as well. Yeah, another one that had like good characters. But like, babies going about doing their own thing. Even the parent characters in it though were good as well. Like Stu Pickles, he's a bit of a meme in it. They got a spin-off as well where they were like grown up. I watched a bit of that as well, but that's not on here for some reason. But yeah, Rugrats was good for sure. Another one that I'm kind of decided to B and A. I did definitely like Rugrats. Do you know what? I think it deserves an A. I'm a fan. Right, I think that could be everything I've seen. So a quick look through everything again. Not sure what that is. I feel like I recognise him, but not enough to know what show it is, so I can't know it that much. No, I don't think I've seen any of these. So let's just want to make sure I've got everything I've seen. Yeah, that's all the ones I've seen. Right, let's have a look through. Do I want to move anything about? Definitely those two are S tier. Do I want to add anything else into the S tier from A? I don't think so. I think they're the two that stand out. Someone said, pick your favourite cartoons. Like that when I was younger, that when I was a bit older. Maybe American Dad would be my third favourite, but yeah, I don't think it's S tier worthy. Or Family Guy. Nah. In terms of A's, I'm happy they're all A. I don't want to move any of them down for sure. B, do I want to move anything? I think that's fine for B. C, I think South Park deserves a B, to be honest. I do quite like a South Park a bit. Certainly, yeah. Maybe that's just because I'm a bit older now, so I'd still happily watch a South Park now. But I think South Park deserves a B. No, I don't want to move anything down from B. I think I might move Magic School Bus down, I don't feel like I will like that as much as everything else in this tier. So we'll swap Magic School Bus and South Park around then. But, if you're even in C, you're still good for sure. I'd happily watch anything in C. Want to change anything in C, up or down? I think you're going to move Inspector Gadget down, actually. Gadget down. Maybe Powerpuff Girls up, but I think it can stay C. It's close to a B, but I think it's a C. D. I think it could have been previously blurted down. I don't really remember it enough to even be in D tier, to be honest. Like this stuff, I'd happily watch an episode of any of it even in D tier. When I was younger, at least. Yeah, I think that's fair. E. These are kind of the ones I don't really remember too much about, or didn't like that much. Then F's the ones I sort of remember and didn't really like, didn't watch much of. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, that was my cartoons tier list as requested. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of requests lately, but if anyone does have any other requests, feel free to leave them in the comments. That'd be great. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.